What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Better Call Saul video where we are continuing on with the final season of everybody's favourite lawyer, Saul Goodman. This was a superb episode, a really stunning piece and a great end to Nacho's story, and I've been a big fan of the guy ever since he was in Far Cry 3, and I'm hoping for him to finally continue on playing the Scorpion in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, Nacho has almost escaped the cousins. Last week I did say that I thought he crashed and was going to be captured by them. I was wrong, and I will take the L on that one. He attempts to hide in what looks like an abandoned petrol tanker or milk tanker. There was a show I watched where someone hid in a milk tanker, but I'm going to move on. It's super gross, but he finally gets out, and when they go away, he managed to call up his father in an emotional moment. He's always wanting to keep his father safe, and his criminal activities really did start to change in what he wanted to do did change when the cartel wanted to use his father, and this explains why he does what he does at the end. He calls up Mike saying he knew he was never meant to make it back, and he threatens Gus and says that this is the only way it's going to go down. He's going to need to die, but he wants assurances that his father will be safe once all is said and done. And, well, anyone who wants to go through the father is going to have to go through Mike, a formidable threat indeed, as we cut to Saul and Kim, who are continuing their plan to mess with Hamlin, and they work on trying to get access to his vehicle, which is what they plan. Now, Kim and Saul head off to carry on their plan, except a prosecutor brings up some uncomfortable questions about Lalo and if she knows anything about it, as it has been made that, well, he's not Mr. Guzman. They've connected the dots that, well, this guy who died in a cartel shooting is actually the guy who Saul Goodman protected. However, we know that he is not dead, and I'm very confused as to where this show is going to go next. After this, I think that this will be the focal point for the rest of the season, as well. They also connect the dots to Nacho Vargas, someone that Saul obviously did represent, and they want to get Kim to get Saul to flip on Salamanca, as the privilege between them two was actually in bad faith. So it's a really neat work here that, well, they think that Lalo's dead, so they can be like, we're going to absolutely sing, except he is not actually dead, as it is bad faith. Now, Mike works on his plan to get Varga back to America, which went really quickly. I was glad that they kind of didn't string this out, have them walking through the desert for a whole episode, just like we had last season, or drag it out Breaking Bad style, which I find that the creators of Breaking Bad could actually drag things out a lot longer than they should have been. They need to make his death real, and the plan to mess with the cars of Doug is put into place that we heard about earlier, and he runs into the future Saul security guard that is hired to mess with the car when the valet is off. I love the fact that he's there, and they can now mess with the car whenever they want. I love the fact that he asks about Saul and his wife Kim making legit money. He asks, why is he running these scams? And what is he doing? Now, Saul explains that, well, he's doing the Lord's work and people are going to have a better life once they've done what they've done. But this and the flip on Lalo is an opportunity for him to not become the guy he is in Breaking Bad. And the problem now is that Kim explains this to that Lalo is dead to him, and what the DA know, that he can flip. So I think that this might be the way that Kim starts to come out of this, and she leaves before Breaking Bad. I think this is going to be a big problem, and he's going to need to do something huge, as we know he has a whole adventure over on Breaking Bad, but we need to know how he deals with all of this and the criminal enterprise, and what happens between now and him getting the fancy law office, as we cut to Varga and Gus, as the latter has been mashed up, and they send him to Salamanca as Gus needs to turn him in so the blame does not fall on him, as it would be quite obvious it was him. And the tense exchange starts, and he's interrogated as Nacho explains that it was Alvarez, but they already knew that. And he belittles Gus by saying, what do you think, the chicken man can do this? Which is appealing to the Salamancas who don't like the Chicken Man. And he says that he was the one who did this to the infamous Bell Man in one hell of a scene. The actor who plays Varga absolutely ate it up as he grabs the interrogator and shoots himself. He explains how he did not like any of these people and he thinks they're all scum. So that's why we never see him in Breaking Bad. Now, of course, this does hit him very, very hard, Mike, and it's going to be interesting nonetheless. Overall, this was a decent episode. It did wrap up a storyline which I thought would go on a lot longer than I expected. But this is the final season, and we need to see how Saul Goodman becomes the man he was in Breaking Bad. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.